Like most businesses, most real estate teams fail. They make no money, they burn through cash. It's a lose-lose situation where it should be a win-win. The leaders suck. If you're not an absolute rock star of an individual agent, realistically, you shouldn't be starting a team yet. The number one mistake I see people make. Welcome back, guys. Today, I'm excited to talk about something I get asked and I coached probably more on than anything else, and that's building teams. And I'm gonna probably turn this into a series because 10 or 15 minutes is definitely not enough time to kind of cover even the basic necessities of the importance of things you need to do while building a team. However, I'm going to try to go over, I should say, some of the absolute basics. Probably, and I'm gonna make this very clear, teams are not for everyone. And I don't mean that anyone can't start a team eventually, but I feel like the number one mistake is I have newer agents, less seasoned agents. I'm just gonna be very blunt, and I hope I don't hurt any feelings, and if I do, it is what it is. If you're not an absolute rock star of an individual agent, realistically, you shouldn't be starting a team yet. The number one issue, the number one mistake I see people make when starting teams, they have not maximized being an individual agent yet. They haven't created the systems, they don't have admin staff, they haven't really maximized the amount of money, volume, transactions that they could do personally before getting into the team atmosphere. I've had agents come to me and be like, Sean, I got crazy systems. I want to be able to, get leads for people, and I want to be able to get paid off those leads. Listen, if you want to be a lead generation company, that's one thing. You want to be a team leader, you need to be a leader. And a leader is always, always, always ahead of the pack and starting from and leading from the front. And what does that mean? You need the experience. They need to recognize your abilities to do what you say you want them to do. So it's incredibly important. So if you haven't hit that 40, 50, 60 to 100 transactions on your own and with an admin staff or support staff, a payroll, really, I recommend focusing on that first, becoming an absolute rock star first, then building on the team afterwards. I'll give you a personal example and a little story here, and it may sound like I'm bragging, but it is just a reality. How my team started were people that I knew that were acquaintances coming to me because I was killing it selling real estate. I had an admin, just one admin, and I was out there doing 60 transactions a year by myself. And I didn't even think about the team, because when I started 10 or 11 years ago, where I am right now, there wasn't a lot of like mega teams or big team structures. Most teams were like a husband and wife, or like father, son, mother, daughter, whatever it is. It was more family-based, less these mega team structures that we currently run and see today. So first things first, if you want, and this is one of the biggest things and one of the things that is important about building a team, is hiring, is recruiting. If you want to be able to hire rockstar agents onto your team, if you want to be able to motivate agents on your team, you want them to listen and take direction, you want them to do the things that they need to do to be successful, well, guess what? You're gonna have to have done that before. One of the biggest mistakes I see, once again, quickly wrap that part up, is agents just not being rock stars before they start a team. It's not just about the systems, it's not just about the leads, even though those are important. You need to lead from the front. Because if I pick up the phone call, I'll give you a perfect example with online leads, for one of our main lead sources, I would say, for our team. I can pick up the phone and I know this sounds cocky again, but it's just the truth, and you can ask everybody on my team, I can outclose anybody on my team. If I've never made a cold call, I've never closed a deal via online leads, never booked appointments, never did any of those things, and I'm expecting my team to do that, good luck. A, you won't be able to teach and pass the knowledge that is an absolute fundamental requirement to be able to do as a team lead, but B, they're not gonna have the trust in it actually even working. So good luck with them following down your line. Okay, so that's the first thing. Number two, we need to understand what our value proposition is for our team. A, if you're a rock star, being in your midst is a genuine value proposition. They're gonna be learning directly from somebody that they wanna emulate and or be. Just like, and this is probably one of the things that I see very common mistake, just like when you sit down for a listing presentation, or you sit down for a buyer consultation, or a developer meeting, or whatever you may be doing, you should be, I hope anyways, having a pre-listing package of some sort explaining what your services are and what your unique selling proposition is in comparison to your competitors and everybody else. Why should they list with you? Why should they buy with you? Why should they do anything with you? You should have the exact same thing for your team. Why join Team Zubor & Associates? Why join my brokerage? Why join us? This is what we offer, and it's very clear and summarized, right? So that's the first thing. Know your value proposition. Now, what should be in a good team's value proposition? The fundamentals of a team. So it doesn't matter what your split systems are. Actually, those are probably the least of importance. The more value you provide, the more likelihood that you're going to be able to retain more income per transaction. Also, more likely, the benefit for your team member is they're going to be doing more transactions. So at the end of the day, they're involved in more deals, they get paid more, and it's a win-win situation. Clearly defining what your value proposition is. 3 fundamentals of what should be included in your value proposition is 1, brand. What brand do you offer? Is it a recognizable name? Is it something that the clients, your end users, other realtors, do they recognize? Are you respected in your industry? Are you on social media? Are you out there? Are you giving a brand that's recognizable and helps and is not a detriment to your agents both getting business, retaining business, and working with other agents? So what is your brand? Second thing is leads. And there's multiple ways to build a team, and we will go over that in various other videos in the future. But to give you a couple examples, there's a Rainmaker system. So Rainmaker's a little bit more old school, but that would be like, I have such a big personal brand and so many client referrals and so many other things that everybody funneling through me, and I'm basically handing off those leads to my agents. The other way of doing leads is opportunity leads. So that's online leads, that's open house leads, that's marketing leads, that's whatever it may be. What leads am I providing to my team to help them grow their business? Third, what systems do I provide? Now, systems seems to be the latest buzzword. To be honest, I have seen more agents these days get into analysis paralysis based on systems and the lack of than I have anything else. So this latest buzzword, systems, what is a system? A system can be something as simple as every time a client refers me a friend of theirs or an acquaintance or whatever, that we automatically email them a $20 gift card. That could be the simplest system. System could be, where does our online lead generation, what are the follow-ups, what are the things that are automated, what do my admin staff, what does my videographer do? All of these are different types of systems. Where I see issues in some systems and where kind of like a lot of the buzzwords surround is the systems never take away the fundamental work that needs to be done, which is contacting clients, showing them places, and writing offers. And that contacting clients portion, that's something that is, with new AI and all these different types of tools out there, there are follow-ups, there are first-time text messages, there are systems in place that can contact them for them. But if I could give any piece of advice, do not build and hope your team will be successful based on using automations. Automations are a tool that we use in our arsenal. It is not going to make or break your business by any means. Actually, it may break your business if you heavily rely on it. Okay, so systems. I don't mean to take away from how important systems are, because we do have to have that thing in play. You have to remember now, part of your value proposition is to make sure that your agents do more transactions with you or higher volume transactions with you than they would on their own. That's why they come to work with you. So these systems, what they should do is they should focus the work that your agents are doing on what is the most fruitful and where you get the most return. So the biggest ROI on. So for example, if your agent is having to film his own videos 24/7, go home, edit them, then post them, then watch your meta analysis on how many views, how many leads you're getting, all that kind of stuff. How much time is your agent spending doing that versus if you had a videographer, an ads campaign manager, maybe all put together, that the agent just sat down, shot a video like we're doing right now. They took care of everything, ran the ads, and now all they're doing, majority of their time is focusing on the fruit of that labor. So they're calling the leads that are coming up. They're following with them. They're booking the appointments. They're out there showing. So where I look at systems is, where do I put my agents at the most, where do I get the best ROI on their specific time versus what are they doing that I could be paying somebody else to do, right? For a lower amount of money with a less amount of return, if that makes sense, okay? So those are the 3 things that we need to build out in our value proposition, the 3 things that we really need to work on for our agents. So what brand do we give them? Where are the leads coming from? and what systems are going to make them more efficient in getting business done. So those are the three things. Now, they seem pretty straightforward, but each one of those could be an hour video, and they will be eventually. Now, when it comes to building a team, and we kind of touched on it a little bit, one of the biggest issues I hear and one of the biggest problems, how do I recruit? How do I bring people onto my team, right? So first of all, that value proposition is going to be your number one draw. So if you have an extremely strong value proposition, your brand is strong, everything else that you're going, agents will come to you. But just like you prospect for clients, you prospect for developers, you prospect for everything, you need to be prospecting continuously and have a recruiting regimen in place. On top of that, depending on what your avatar agent looks like, which you will have to build out yourself, and if you do, I'm just gonna throw this out there, a shameless plug. If you are looking to actually learn how to do this and get some one-on-one coaching, I have all my links above. Reach out to me. One of my guys will set up an interview with us and we can see if it's a fit, if it makes sense. But I can show you how I built my team within 2 years to go from, as an individual agent, high 6 figures, well into the high 7 figures, right? So upside of a team is leverage and where you can grow from it. Turns it into more of a business than a sales job. But anyways, I digress. The point of what I'm trying to say is to be able to recruit, there needs to be multiple systems in place. How do we prospect? How do we market to bring these recruits in here and book those appointments? B, what is our avatar agent look like? What type of agent? Are you bringing on brand new agents? If you are bringing on brand new agents, even if they're not brand new agents, but maybe less seasoned or seasoned, we need to make sure there's a training program in place that's going to make them into your avatar agent, into the type of agent that's going to be able to respond to the leads that you want to, that's going to be able to work the system you want to, that are going to be able to step forward daily and run the business that you put in front of. We need a recruiting system to bring them in. What does that look like? How are we marketing? Who are we calling? Are we getting new agents? There's a bunch of questions that we need to ask. B, what does our avatar, what does our agent look like? What do they do? C, we need to make sure that there is a clear understanding of what I provide to the agent and what the agent should be providing to me. So it's a mutual agreement. The reason why I'm kind of hesitating on this one, because this is very long, is how do we run these teams? And what I mean by that is majority of my team members recruit other members for me because they're having success stories coming to my team. So how do we bring in management within our teams? That's an additional leverage point. How do we make sure that you as a team leader aren't bombarded 24/7 by the most basic questions? So how do we structure our team meetings? How do we structure our team managers? How do we structure conversations between you and the staff? Where are you involved? Where are you not involved? These are all things that we would plan out along the way. So anyways, I know a lot of this is high level, but I feel like it was very important for me to kind of talk about this because I get asked all the time. And to be real, 80% of the people that I coach are either at the point where they're making $500,000 a year or $300,000 or $400,000 a year and really wanting to get into $1 million plus, and either just started a team or they're working into building a team. The team structure, I've spent years developing and learned from some of the best in the absolute best in the industry. People that do thousands of transactions a year, we do hundreds and now looking to do thousands here. There is a system that you need to provide for your agents. And the reality is when we're looking to build a team, you're looking to build a separate business, right? So this is very important to understand, is that you are no longer selling real estate. Selling real estate is, I'm Sean Zubor, my real estate hat, I'm selling real estate to my clients. Then I have to be Sean Zubor, my CEO hat, this is my team, right? So this is a separate business. We need to have a separate business plan. We need to have our value propositions. All of the effort that we put into selling real estate, we now have to put that directed into managing and running another business, which is your team. That is highly leveraged, can be highly fruitful, but just like most businesses fail, most teams I see are unprofitable, they make no money, they burn through cash, and their agents aren't doing better on your team than they would be on their own. What we're not looking for to build a team out of, a successful team, is somebody that's just gonna be selling to their friends or just gonna be selling to their mom and dad. That does not make a successful team. A successful team is a team that runs off the systems that you've been built, that work the leads that you attract, that grow, and they do substantially more working with you than they ever would on their own. That makes it a win-win. That makes it a successful team. All right, guys, that's the first video of this concept that we're gonna be talking about teams. Like I said earlier, if you're looking to get coached more specifically, reach out to me. I'd love to even have a quick session with you and kind of pick any questions that you have. You can look at the link in my bio. That being said, if you like this content, I'm really trying to push this YouTube page. Please like, subscribe, and do all the other YouTube things you need to do. Much appreciated, and I'll see you on the next one.